course of discussing movies, the host will spoil lots. You've been warned. Listen to their screams. Greetings, ghouls and creeps, and welcome to Listen to Their Screams, a horror podcast that feels like you're chatting with friends. I'm one of your friends, Dave. We're joined as always by our other friend, Ike. Ike, how are you?
Hey, I'm not doing too shabby. Just, living the dream, just avoiding any big vats of toxic waste.
Yeah, that's always a good idea.
I think so.
But if you encounter one, yeah, it's good to become the Toxic Avenger, which is what we're talking about today. The new Toxic Avenger, the remake of Toxic Avenger, remake in quotes. It's kind of a remake. It's kind of a reboot, whatever you want to call it. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Before we get there, we got all kinds of stuff to talk about, including the fact that Ike Spooktober is officially upon us. We are now in September, and we usually do a Spooktober watch list for September and October, but this year we're just going to do it for October, like the trendy 31 days. We're just going to do it that. We're gonna trim it down and just do an October watch list this year. So if anybody's disappointed by that, they can reference our Spooktober list from last year. Continue to watch it. It's still pretty viable, I think.
Yeah.
So I think so too. It's pretty good. So, but Ike, before we get on to all kinds of good stuff, did you watch anything else this week?
Oh, Lordy. I've been busy this week doing some traveling, so not much that I've watched other than just some YouTube and stuff. So not really.
Me neither. I watched random bullshit, nothing horror related, other stuff, but no. Holiday week, really busy at work, lots going on at home. So yeah, no, I didn't watch anything horror related. So yeah, I guess that's a little anticlimactic for the listeners, but we apologize. We promise it's getting into the fall here. Our viewing will pick up.
Right.
Just the more I unpack boxes, the more I get to view stuff. So that's all good. I'm a month into my move, and I'm still trying to get settled in. It's it's a marathon, not a sprint.
100%.
But all right, this is our first episode of October, which means it is time for Stump the Co-Host. Stump the Co-Host. And for those of you who need refreshing, Stump the Co-Host is our horror trivia game where Ike and I have identical horror trivia card decks. We each draw 2 cards, which is 4 trivia questions in total. We alternate asking questions and continue until a winner is determined. We have established in 2025 there will be no draws. So if no winner is established in the 4 questions or the 2 cards, we will continue on with further cards, further questions until we determine a winner. So far in 2025, Ike, who is the defending champion from 2024, is leading 6-2. So therefore, we have established that all Ike's got to do is win one more month, and he has secured the championship for 2025. So I did win last month. We'll see if this is if the Cinderella story can continue, and if I can continue to fight back. This is you can't even call this Rocky Balboa odds because this is like I'm way in the hole. I mean, I was down 6-1, and I'm still down 6-2. So I still got a long way to go, but hell, weirder things have happened. So who knows? If not, it's still fun to play. So, Ike, do you have your cards, and are you ready to play?
I sure am.
Okay. As the defending champion, the current leader for 2025, I'm going to make you go first. Here is your first Stump the Co-Host horror trivia question. What type of animal terrorizes Jennifer Connelly in Dario Argento's Phenomena?
I don't know. Pretty sure you had this question not too long ago, but I have no clue. I'm gonna guess and say was it a snake?
No. Okay. It
Okay.
is a chimpanzee with a straight razor.
That's right.
I will. Yeah, that's terrifying. So, All
Good
right.
old,
So,
good old Argento.
way to go, Dario. We got you coming up. You got a birthday coming up in this week, so we'll let you slide for that weird ass shit. So, all
All
right,
right.
here comes the underdog. My turn to see what happens.
All right. In which movie from the 1950s did Raymond Burr play a character named Steve Martin?
Fuck. Um, well, from the 1950s, huh?
Yep,
This
1950s.
not exactly my wheelhouse here. While here's my thing. I like Universal Monster stuff. That's typically pre-50. And then I
Yeah.
like 70s and 80s. So this is really not in my strength. I'm gonna just fuck. I don't know. Let me take a wild guess. I really don't know. Let me just say, fuck, The Fly. I don't know
It is Godzilla.
what.
Yeah, I guess Raymond Burr plays a character named Steve Martin in the movie Godzilla from the 1950s.
Well, I'm sorry, nobody's watching Godzilla for Raymond Burr. No offense, Raymond, but damn. Okay, here is your second question. In the 1979 film Tourist Trap, a group of friends are trapped in what establishment?
I mean, it's a tourist trap. I think it's a museum of some sort.
It is
So
a museum, correct?
okay. Whew, I was gonna say I don't know what kind of museum it was.
Does not matter. It just says a museum. Tourist Trap's pretty good. It's a pretty fun film, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It's a little quirky. It's a little weird, but it's good. I like it a lot.
It's 1979. The whole world was quirky.
Certainly was. But
Mm-hmm.
all right, you
I
ready for your
was
second?
I was
Go
four
ahead.
years old and didn't give a flying fuck. But
I was gonna say you weren't quite around to see much of the quirky '79, I guess.
I was a feisty little guy, but didn't give a shit about Tourist Trap yet.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I'm ready for my second question, though.
All right. Okay. What movie is considered to be a sequel to the movie An American Werewolf in London?
What? A sequel?
So,
Um,
so I'll get. I mean, it's not really a hint, but it's kind of weird that how they worded it. It's another movie with the pretext of An American Werewolf in blank.
yeah. Um, I have heard of this. I don't think I have watched this. It's funny when we do this. I know all the horror hardcores are out there screaming, "You fucking moron!" at some of these things. I love American Werewolf in London, but I don't know that I have seen the sequel. So what we'll say, how about this? How about we will say an American Werewolf in Paris?
That is correct.
Well, that was again, that was just a pull it out of my ass guess because I figured it was a European thing, and well, there you go. I haven't seen the movie. I need to. So maybe in a future installment of what else did you watch this week? I can say that I have watched an American Werewolf in Paris. But maybe the gods are with me or Satan's with me and I have tied it up at one apiece. Who knows?
It's we got it. I think you got it. You got another win in you today.
I don't know about that, but here we go. Here is your third question. What is the name of the cat in Pet Cemetery?
Uh, we were literally just talking about this just the other day.
Yeah.
Like literally, I think on the podcast, like one of the Pet Cemetery movies came up for some reason, and we were talking about the cat. Quite literally, we're talking about the cat. But I couldn't tell you. I can't. I was trying to remember what the fuck the cat's name is because I think the cat's name's different in the original versus the new one, or is it the same?
Ooh, that I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that because I have not seen the remake nearly as much as the original. And I believe this is the name in the original. Um,
Okay.
I don't know. Thus my gut says this is maybe it's the same in both. I really don't know though. I've not watched the remake nearly as much to be able to safely say.
Gotcha. I am gonna. I have no guess. I have like a stupid like, oh, it's Whiskers, but I cannot tell you what the cat's name is.
Well, it's not Whiskers. The cat's name is Church.
Church. Yep. No, that's the same cat. Same cat's name in the remake and the original. Yep.
Yeah, I assumed it was, but I again couldn't safely say that. So, okay, opportunity arises for me. Let's see what I can do.
All right. Your third question is: what 1982 film directed by Wes Craven centers around a scientist who is transformed into a plant-based monstrous creature?
Plant-based monstrous creature. God damn, I feel like this is like super obvious. Plant-based monstrous creature. Fuck, Dave. Come on, you ought to know this. Wes Craven, 82. This is completely in my wheelhouse. I will guarantee you that I have seen this movie. And yet, plant-based monstrous creature. I don't know. The only thing that pops to mind when I think of plant-based monstrous creature is a Little Shop of Horrors, and that's not Wes Craven. And God dang it.
Without completely giving it away, this is also a comic book.
Also a comic book? Really? Now I'm super intrigued. Hell, I don't know. What is it?
It is Swamp Thing.
Fuck! God! Yes, see, it's super obvious. But man. You don't think, when you think Swamp Thing, I guess plant-based doesn't immediately jump to my mind, I guess. I don't know. Damn it! I love Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of thought you were gonna be like
I'm
right off the bat Swamp Thing.
totally disheartened now. Here is your final question. Jesus Christ, this is an easy one. What holiday themed movie contained five interwoven stories that occur on the same block on the same night?
To be fair, there's at least two movies I can think of that actually follow that, but I can almost guarantee that it is Trick or Treat.
That is Trick or Treat. Such a good movie.
Yes.
Sam is such a good character. And now I am completely back against the wall and have to get my fourth question right just to stay alive. All because I fucked up on the Swamp Thing. All right, go ahead. Give me that final question. Let's see what I can do here.
All right. What is the movie poster tagline for the 1985 movie House?
House?
Yeah, it's like the haunted house one. I think it's a haunted house.
Fuck. The movie poster tagline. Hmm. I don't know. God, I gotta muster a guess here. Um, how about we just go with the nice, basic, simple welcome home?
That is not correct.
I
It
didn't
is
figure.
Ding Dong, You're Dead.
Hmm. That is interesting. That's yeah, that's clever. Son of a gun. That means you have won this round. And that means you have secured the 2025 championship. And now all I can do is just fight for bragging rights, just to see if I can save a little face and not look horrible. Although after missing the Swamp Thing, that's horrible. That's bad. I should not have missed that question, but okay. So all right, there you go, Ike. Congratulations. You have secured the in September, you have secured the 2025 Stump the Co-host Championship. But that does mean we'll still play the last 3 months of the year just for fun, just to see, because trivia is fun. But for now, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will have news, birthdays, and movie anniversaries, and all that good stuff. So stick around. make sure you subscribe to listen to their screams on your favorite podcast platform. Also, make sure you look us up on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, TikTok, and Slasher. All you have to do is look up Listen to Screams. That is Listen, the number 2 and Screams, and you can find us there. Also, make sure you go and buy yourself a Listen to Their Screams t-shirt. You can find all of our shirts at tinyurl.com/Screams Shirts.
Spreading the news. Spreading the news. Spreading the news. And welcome back with the news. All right. So we got some information on the Welcome to Derry series. We have its premiere date on HBO Max. We're going to be catching this October 26th, of course, 2025, if that wasn't obvious. And this is super exciting. This has kind of been in the works for a little while. I feel like for at least 2-3 years, maybe. I feel like we've been talking about it for a long time. So good to hear that it's finally got a release date. I know we got what was it called? We got a trailer not too long ago, or like a teaser of some sort. So good stuff. I'm excited to watch it. I will binge that in October.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It does. It feels like it's been a while. I don't know. It just felt like it was still in the future. For some reason, it felt like, oh, we still got to wait. But alas, here it is, just a little over a month away. Good stuff. Can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. And we're going to jump now to The Fetus. A little jump scare for you if you weren't expecting me to yell, The Fetus, starring Bill Moseley and Lauren Lavera. It's going to be on video on demand September 9th. I'm actually excited for this. The Fetus was a film that Dave and I both saw a trailer of, I think last year sometime, like early last year. But it didn't have a release date at the time, but we thought, well, hey, they're putting a trailer out, so surely it'll be coming out like somewhat soon. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So I'm excited that finally it's got a release date. I will watch anything with Lauren Lavera in it. She's one of my favorite final girls of the 21st century. So I'm super excited for that. I'll definitely watch that.
Yeah, me too. It's always looked intriguing, always looked fun. I think it did come out maybe on a few theaters here and there, but nothing at all major or widespread and this and that. But it's nice to know we're finally getting something where it's accessible to all of us. And I like Bill Moseley and Lauren Lavera. It's and the concept of I think it's their unborn child they discover is demonic in some way. It sounds interesting. I'm totally on board with that. If you go to their website, which I did when doing this research, they have merchandise, and one of the things they have is the fetus. I don't know if it's actually got content in it or not, but it is the fetus. It's a box of condoms, which cracks me up. So I'm all about that. So I look forward. I can't wait to see it.
Absolutely. So we'll check that out here in a week or two. But moving on to Bambi the Reckoning is now available video on demand on Amazon. Dave and I, of course, were very lucky to be able to catch this before its release. We got it with a nice little screener. Love getting screeners; always makes me happy. Bambi the Reckoning will be available is now available, I should say, on Amazon. And if you guys want to watch it, give it a watch, and then go back and watch our episode and see how we liked it.
That's right.
If you haven't already. That's
right. We got a review in the archive, and we do spoiler free, but we did enjoy it, and yes. It's definitely to be worth the purchase, definitely worth the watch. It was a fun movie, especially if you're into that what we call the public domain horror, or the Pooniverse, or Twisted Childhood Universe. There's all these names for them. To me, again, you can listen to the review, but I think this is one of the better ones to come out so far.
Yeah. I think this one had what I would say is the better of the graphics and the animation and the CGI and whatnot compared to the other ones. But Band of the Reckoning is great. So if you haven't watched it yet, highly recommend it. But moving on to Screamboat. Screamboat, all aboard, starring David Howard Thornton, will stream on Peacock beginning September 12th. This is interesting that Peacock is getting this. If I remember correctly, Peacock at one time had the rights to the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey films. It may still have them.
Mm.
So that makes me wonder if they are going to try and like get all of these films on their streaming service, um, and become the public domain horror streaming service. Which hey, I'd be all for it.
That's right.
Put all those bitches
I'm
on
there
one.
for that. Yeah. But yeah,
As
I'm
I
excited about
excuse
this,
me.
right? Because I've not, we haven't seen Screamboat, and we didn't get to review it because, again, it's a limited theater run. Wasn't really a thing we could see. Uh, we love David Howard Thornton, of course, Mister Art the Clown.
Yeah.
Um, we have talked about. I mean, we reviewed a couple, I believe, or at least spoke about a couple of the Steamboat Willie horror movies. But this is the one we were most looking forward to, primarily because of David Howard Thornton, and we didn't get to watch it. So, if I remember correctly, I think kind of mildly disappointed with the others we watched. It didn't blow our socks off. So I look forward to this one, if for no other reason, just to see his performance in the role.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, we were supposed to review this, but if I remember correctly, at least for me and maybe even you, Screamboat had maybe like a couple of showings at our theaters, but it got kind of the stream treatment where these theaters just canceled like a bunch of the show times. And so it was kind of unfortunate that we didn't get to watch it then. But, you know, bygones be bygones. It's going to be on streaming September 12th. So that's exciting for us and for everybody. But very good. We're going to move on now to another movie that we were supposed to review, but things got in the way. Hell House LLC Lineage will be coming to Shudder October 30th. This was actually a movie we were supposed to review either last week or the week before.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was last week, but the show times for this movie, and I knew this was going to happen, so I was just hoping it wouldn't. But every time that we get like one of these movies like this that are like, you know, not necessarily Fathom events, but they're like event movies, right? They're not quite major production releases. It always has such a small number of, you know, screens and times. So, yeah, I was not super happy about that. Now, on the other hand, I'm going to reserve my personal judgment, but I have not heard great things about Hell House LLC Lineage.
Me
So,
neither. But I don't know this for sure. But if we go back, because we've talked about this movie a few times, right? In news and this and that, and as it was developing, we did hear talk that it was different, right? It was not going to be a
yeah,
found footage type thing. And I'm pretty sure we expressed some concern about that because for us, what made Hell House, what made it entertaining, what worked for it was that found footage approach. And we didn't know how that would translate over. And again, I know it. I don't think it performed real well. I haven't heard very good reviews. I don't care. I will watch it for myself, see what I think. But I already had some concerns with not being found footage. I love the Hill House movies, but I don't know if you switch away from that primarily found footage format. I just don't. Man, I don't know. If you're changing from what brought you to the dance, and it seems a little odd to me. But we'll see. I'm going to give it a watch. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go into it with an open mind, formulate my own opinion. I love the fact that this comes out the day before Halloween on Shudder. That's pretty cool. It will be a fun watch at that time. I love these streaming services and the stuff that comes out in September and in October, which we got another one we're getting ready to talk about. Super excited, and this is one. You know what? Whatever the reviews have been, but I'll watch it, and I'm looking forward to it still, and want to see what it's all about.
absolutely. And you are correct. We did reserve some. We had some or withheld some reservations, I should say, about the change in format. And it's not to say that they can't change format and still be successful. It's just that if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I feel like that
Yeah.
they were really trying to go like that major blockbuster route, and like that works sometimes, right? Sometimes you can make that leap in genre, or I should say, value or presentation method. It's just sometimes you need to stick to your roots, and I think that they probably should have, given what I've heard. But I will obviously withhold my final judgment until I've seen the movie myself because I don't trust other people to
Me neither.
do
Yeah, I
anything.
don't.
So
I put no value in other. I know it sounds horrible. You know, because how often have, you know, have people said this movie sucks and I loved it, right? I don't, you know, to each their own. And I would really, I mean, I hope everybody would do that, right? Go into it, formulate their own opinion, but it doesn't fill me with confidence just because it's like the concerns that I already felt I had. Other people were saying the same thing, and I have seen some people who, overall, my opinions seem to kind of jive with online, right? They post things about movies, and I'm like, oh, we kind of agree on that, and it worries me. So, but again, I'm still looking forward to seeing it, and you know, it's a cool thing. You know, I love that Shudder gets this stuff, and we'll see. I'm a completist though because I've seen all the others. I got to see this one.
I was gonna say I've seen the other movies, so I obviously have to watch this. This is the proverbial close to the franchise. I don't know if they're gonna actually stop making movies or if this is just like a soft close. I don't know. You know how these franchises get, but um, at least purportedly, this is supposed to be the last one. So I gotta watch it, but we'll see. This last little bit of news is perhaps what I am most excited for this holiday season.
Me
Uh,
too.
I mean, if people, I would assume that people, if anybody's like an active listener who's listened for a while, they probably already know what we're about to say because we love these movies. Dave has, this is one of those films that have changed Dave's opinion on found
Absolutely,
footage films.
definitely.
And and that says a lot. If a movie can legitimately change a person's outlook on this type of movie, that's how you know it's at least a little good. But
Hmm.
VHS Halloween is coming to Shudder on October 3rd, and there is a trailer out. I only saw a little bit of it, but it gives me like that fun nostalgia of like the old Halloween commercials they used to get on TV and stuff.
Yep.
Um, and I'm super excited for it. VHS can do whatever they want. They can make movies and however many movies every year for the rest of my life, and I will watch every single one, no doubt.
Me too. I have loved everyone, and the thing is, it's so weird. It's this unique franchise that's like everyone they put out, I like better than the one before.
Yeah.
It's like they keep getting better, and like the one with the '80s, oh, that's it, right? You're in my bread and butter. That's my perfect. But no, nope. Now we're gonna put one out, but centers around Halloween. I'm like, okay, well, you know, you just one upped yourself. And when I thought I couldn't get more excited than the '80s stuff, here we are with they're doing a Halloween thing. I'm like, okay, bring it on. I cannot wait. I have been looking forward to this so much. Like you said, literally, this franchise is the primary reason that I have turned around on found footage. If you listen to early shows in our run, I did not like found footage outside of, I like the original Blair Witch. Maybe at one or two here and there. Overall, I thought, they're just not that great. They're not that original. There have been some films that have changed my mind. A few, but this franchise has been one that has really opened me to giving it more of an opportunity. Say, maybe I should re-examine what I think about this style of movie. And I love them. I love the VHS movies. I have loved every one. Like I said, more than the previous. Every one that comes out, I get super excited. But I don't know if I've ever been more excited for one than this one. And again, October 3rd, right there, bam, we're in Halloween month. It's just so, man, that's perfect. Can't wait. It makes you feel like when you're a kid, man, and you're watching those holiday specials that come out around the holiday, whatever holiday it is. And it makes you feel like that, right? You're this anticipation of seeing it. And here we are. We get to see VHS Halloween on October 3rd on Shudder, right? Right deep in the heart of Spooktober and Halloween. And it's just, man, so cool. I don't give a shit what comes out at that time. I venture to guess we're going to do a review of this around that time. I don't know what else comes out, but you'd be hard pressed to trump this movie in my heart.
Absolutely. This movie has just the feeling and the hype of just some of the best movies that we've reviewed on this podcast. That's the kind of hype that we're seeing with VHS Halloween. So we'll definitely review this. If I had to
Yeah.
take a guess, this will definitely be our review for that week of
The
October 3rd.
most used word, the most used word we ever use is fun, right? That's what we're in for. And we want to have fun, right? I don't give a
Yes.
I don't care if you write an award-winning script I don't care how many twists and turns you put in. Just make me have fun and just make me feel something. And whether you do that through blood, gore, nostalgia, whatever it is, I don't care what whatever your tool is, just make me have fun and make me lose myself for whatever, an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it might be. This movie has already got me psyched ahead of time. So I mean, it's just I can't wait, man. This is I don't know if I don't know this year if there's probably a movie that I'm probably more excited to see than VHS Halloween. And there's some good movies this year that I've looked forward to. Some more coming out that I'm looking forward to. But this one, man, is just right up there with just my personal excitement. And if you had ever told me that I would be this pumped up for a found footage film, I'd have said you were fucking crazy. But alas, here we are. And hats off to you, VHS.
Absolutely. And what's even better, every year when these movies come out, I rewatch all the other ones,
That's
and
right.
that's always a good time. Like
That's right.
that'll be like I'll take a week where I'll watch all these movies, and that's just also so much fun. And the more that they make, the longer my rewatch period is, and I'm 100% fine with that.
That's right.
But
Looking forward to it. Can't
wow,
wait.
absolutely. But all right, that's all for our news. So we have a lot of birthdays
Woo.
and movie anniversaries. So we're gonna try to plow through
That's
these.
right. There's some big ones, but let's get rolling here. This is we're gonna get hung up on this first one. I'm telling you.
I'm sure.
At least I
But
am.
so our first birthday is September 5th, 1951. Michael Keaton, of course, known for his roles as Beetlejuice. Also, he played what was it, Batman? Yeah, he was the Batman from Tim Burton's Batman.
Fat fucking man. I don't. Here's the thing. Whatever. You know what? I'm not gonna get caught up with this because I appreciate. I enjoy a lot of them. Fuck the world. Michael Keaton's my Batman. Always will be. Love Michael Keaton. And of course, he's Beetlejuice as well. Super exciting. One of my favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Keaton's iconic as Beetlejuice and as Batman, but lovely. Happy birthday, Mike. We're gonna move on now to I don't know if people call him
Mike,
Mike or not. Hey, Mike.
way
But
to go! Happy birthday, Mikey,
September
Mister
5th,
Mom.
19... So on the same day, a few years later, a very different actor.
That's right.
September 5th, 1973, Rose McGowan, of course, known for her roles in Scream and Phantoms. She's done a lot of other stuff too, but she was the best friend in Scream who dies in
Mm-hmm.
the not what is it, the fucking garage door,
Yeah, the
right?
garage door. Great scene.
Oh yeah, but yeah, she's great. She's great. She had a really memorable death in that one for sure.
Of course, in Phantoms, which we've talked about, an underappreciated movie. Uh, we talk about those underappreciated movies and that underappreciated time period, and Rose McGowan's right there in the midst of all that.
Yeah, absolutely. But happy birthday, Rose. Moving on to September 6th, 1879. You heard that right. Max Schreck, who played Orlok in the silent Nosferatu movie from the 20s, or yeah, 20s, I think 21.
Way
But
back.
way back ago, over 100 years ago. It has been a long time since I've seen the original Nosferatu. Um, I think I watched it in college, but it's a seminal work. It's one of
It
those
is.
movies that you can watch for the appreciation of it and the value of it, but it's a weird one.
It is iconic, absolutely. But the look of Orlok, oh, just so great. Still merchandised, still repeated. Um, it's just he was great. He was perfect.
Absolutely. Perfect. And without getting into the rigmarole of the new Nosferatu, he definitely has a different look
Yeah,
than the new
yeah,
one.
that's true. That's true.
But anywho, moving on to September 6th, 1949, Tommy Lee Wallace, the director of Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I think this one's an often overlooked Halloween film because it does not have Mikey Myers in it. And that's perfectly fine. A lot of people, will do that, and that's an understandable process. But I encourage you, I implore you, that if you've not seen Season of the Witch, check it out. It's a fantastic film. But Tommy Lee Wallace is a big reason why. Did a fantastic job in that movie.
Absolutely. I love that movie. One of my favorite. One of my favorite movies. Again, I always would say if it was not labeled as a Halloween movie, I think it would be different. It would have succeeded in a different light. Great movie, fun movie. And yeah, Tommy Lee Wallace was, probably the driving force behind why.
Yeah, absolutely. But very good. Moving on to September 7th, 1940, Dario Argento, the Italian horror director known for a slew of weird movies
Right.
in the giallo genre. I've jumped into a few of them, and they're all right. I don't know. I found that I have a very specific taste of giallo, which are giallos that are almost not giallo. They have to be more
Mhm.
slasher than anything.
Yeah,
Um, but hey, Dario Argento is great. He's a seminal director. Some of the movies he's made I've heard are fantastic, but I've not seen. So I'll take it with a grain of salt. But obviously, he's still iconic in his own right.
he is. He's legendary. Not it's just, to be frank, not my cup of tea. I'm sorry. It's not for me. I've watched a few, I don't want to say I don't get it because it's not I don't get it thing. It's just not what I look for. So, but I can understand why people would enjoy it and get into it, and I understand why he is the leader in that genre. So, it's yeah, I mean, there's no discounting his contributions.
Yeah, absolutely. And just because we don't like it doesn't mean you can't like it either. So if anybody out
That's
there
right.
is a huge giallo fan, we're not dissing it. It's just not our jam.
That's right.
But moving on now to September 7th, 1954, Doug Bradley, who played Pinhead and Hellraiser and a lot of the sequels. Um, yeah, Doug Bradley's great. You know what I mean? He played a very convincing Pinhead in the original film, and some of the sequels were pretty decent too. And yeah, I think his likeness is used in like a lot of the comic books and things like that too. He has the voice, he has the look, and he's I think that had Hellraiser not taken the path that it took, he could have been up there with Robert Englund in terms of fame, and in terms of like getting cameos and stuff. But I just feel like Doug Bradley took a very different approach to his work on Pinhead than Robert Englund did with Freddy, because they're both basically cosmetic horror characters, essentially.
Yeah.
But that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, it's still an iconic character, right? It's still, we've spoke many times about those, there's those handful of characters that everybody knows, horror fan or not. And I don't know if Pinhead's quite in that, but
Yeah,
he is definitely close to that next tier down, right? He still gets recognized a lot. Um, a lot of people know of him, even if they don't know the name or what particular movie it is or stuff like that, right? He's still definitely in the upper echelon of iconic characters. And a lot of that can be contributed to Doug Bradley and his performance.
yeah, absolutely. But very good. Happy birthday, Doug. And we're going to jump down to September 8th, 1956. Julian Richings. He's been in quite a bit, too. I remember looking him
Yes,
up when I watched Supernatural. But specifically, he plays Death in Supernatural, the first Death.
yes,
Um, and yeah, I mean, he's fantastic. He's a very interesting character. He has a very unique look to him, and his voice is very unique as well. But absolutely, I think Death is one of the better of the, I guess, the horsemen, right? That they have in that movie
yes,
or
yes,
the show. But he's been in a bunch of stuff too. Julian Richings is a very well accomplished actor, but
yes.
specifically Supernatural.
Yeah, I mean, I can say two things about Julian Richings. First of all, I don't know if there's ever been a more perfect casting than casting him as Death because of his look, his approach, his everything. And number two, one of the best debut scenes in any television show is his debut as Death. With the song, he's walking down the street. He bumps into a guy who mouths off to him, so he brushes his shoulder, makes the guy die. Just so cool. That scene is cinematic. It's so perfect. But he was great. I mean, just absolutely perfectly cast. Again, he's had a very, very, very great career, wide career. done so many things, but uh, I'm a big ass Supernatural fan, so in my eyes, he'll always be Death.
Absolutely. So, happy birthday, Julian. Moving now to September 8th, 1971. David Arquette, known for his role as Officer
Dewey,
Doofy. No, I'm just
Dewey.
Officer Doofy is the character from the Scream or the scary movie.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, Officer Dewey, and of course he's also in Eight-Legged Freaks. Love that movie,
Uh-huh.
and he's also a professional wrestler. And depending on who you ask,
Sure.
his performance in the ring may also be considered a horror movie.
Yeah. And still, we await to see what happens, but he is going to be in the next Scream movie. So we'll see how they pull that off since Dewey's dead. I'm curious to see. I mean, lots of dead characters going to be in this next one. We await to see how they're going to pull it off, but it is exciting. But
Yes,
yeah, I mean, again, I know we just spoke again. David Arquette as Dewey. That's a great cast. That's spot on. I mean, I don't know if anybody could have played that character better than David Arquette.
no, 100%. And like you said, I'm very curious where we can go with this, but we should be getting a trailer pretty soon for Scream,
Give
the
us
new one.
something.
I heard, I think it was from some convention. Somebody said something about there should be a trailer in the next month or two. So keep an
Yeah.
eye out for that. But happy birthday, David Arquette. And moving now to September 9th, 1954. Jeffrey Combs, known for his role in Reanimator, From Beyond, Stream, and a billion other things. I mean, he's been in pretty much every major horror franchise. I feel like everything. He's in everything.
So good. So good. But again, come on. Herbert West. Oh man, he was so good in all the Reanimator, the films. And then again, I mean, recently in Stream, man. Stream was a great film, had a loaded cast, and he stood out. I still think he stood out as one of the best in that loaded cast. So he's so talented, such a talented guy, and everything he does. And he's one of those bucket list guys that I want to meet at a convention or something somewhere.
Absolutely. Like you said, he's an iconic, he's a legendary actor, and he keeps doing it. He keeps putting in the work, and that's what
That's right.
matters.
Get
Yep,
it, Jeffrey.
that's right. Moving on now to our upcoming movie anniversaries.
Whew.
September 6th, 2019, It Chapter 2. It Chapter 2 is the perfect sequel to Chapter 1. It's a good 1-2 punch. Yeah, we love it. It is great. And Welcome to Derry is going to be great as well.
That's right. Good shit. Time to rewatch it with the prequel coming up. I'm not gonna say much. We need to plow through these, but yeah, good shit.
Absolutely. September 6th, 2024, so about a year ago, Beetlejuice, the sequel to the original Beetlejuice film. It's good. We have a review in the archives with the where we go on deep on the movie, but yeah, check that out. I think we generally liked it.
Yeah, fun movie. I thought it captured the fun and feel of the first movie pretty well. Yeah, I think it was worthy. I liked it, enjoyed it. Of course, it's got Michael Keaton, so hey, what do you?
That's right. Can't beat it. It's got Michael Keaton, but
Oh,
very good. So moving on to September 7th, 2007, we have Hatchet, which is fantastic as well. Hatchet is one of those movies that it acts in such a weird way. It's got a lot of cameos from a lot of old actors and whatnot, but it also kind of propels its own story. It has like 4 movies in the franchise, potentially more, I've heard. So yeah, Hatchet's great.
it is. I still feel the Hatchet franchise is a little underappreciated. I don't. I know Victor Crowley is a great character and been merchandised, but I still feel like it's underappreciated. Man, I love these films. They're fun. And they're very much right. We're talking 2007. They're very much a throwback to just good old, you know, fun action filled slasher and fun movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Very fun movies. Like I said, lots of good cameos. But very good. Moving on now to September 7th, 2018, The Nun. So The Nun, of course, is a sort of sequel or a prequel type thing of pretty much all the other movies. I think this is the earliest film chronologically, as it takes place before every single movie. I think back in like the 40s or 50s or something like that. But it's great. The Nun is a good movie. I don't believe it'll be required watching for the Last Rites film coming up. But
Yeah.
it's a good one to jump back to if you can for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah, it's in that Conjuring universe, and we got the Conjuring Last Rites coming up. We're gonna talk about that in a minute, but but they have spoke that hey, that this might be the last in the mainline Conjuring movies. It doesn't mean it's the last movie in the universe, right? They've already branched out and done things, and so who knows? Will we see the Nun again in the future? Maybe, perhaps, who knows? But yeah, I think this was their first foray into branching out a little bit into that universe.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this was one of the big ones, other than of course Annabelle. But Annabelle was pretty integral to a lot of the mainline Conjuring films, anyways. I guess the Nun was too.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think the Nun, in my opinion, is one of the best branches of the Conjuring tree.
yeah,
But
it's good.
good stuff. But moving on to September 8th, 1960, jumping back way when, Psycho, the original. Psycho is an important film. It is a good film. And it's one of those ones that when we kind of think back on, I'm like, yeah, that was decent. Is it the best slasher movie of all time? I'd argue not, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, and no matter what you think, right? I know it's 1960. It's you know what? It's still to me. You got to watch it, right? It's a required watch, um, because it kind of shows where things started almost. That was there's always that argument. Where did slasher start? What was the first? Blah blah blah. And Psycho is always one of those spoken about. And even if you don't want to say it's the first or the beginning, it's still early on, right? It still gives you a an idea of an early point, if not the beginning point, to what we have now. And so it's if you're interested in exploring the history, exploring the evolution of the genre, it's a must watch, and it is a good film. But depending on what your tastes are, it may not be. I don't know. Some people may not find it as entertaining. It is a film from 1960, and
Yes.
I'm not knocking anybody. It's sometimes hard to appreciate a movie that's 65 years old, and I understand that. But again, if you at all have an interest in exploring the history of horror and the genre, you got to watch it. It's a must watch. Now, if you don't give a shit, then maybe you don't. But it's I like it. It's fun. It's entertaining. But to each their own. But no matter how you slice it, it's important.
That's what I was gonna say. It by itself, it may not be the best movie, but it is an important movie. So good stuff. Moving now to September 8th of 2017, we have It, Chapter 1. This is good, great. It was the same category as Chapter 2. It's a good 1-2 punch, just spaced 2 years apart. And again, Welcome to Derry's coming out, so this gives a little backstory on what we saw in these movies. So not much else to say about it. It's great.
Nope. Nothing else to say. What? Watch it. Chapter 2. Brace yourself for Welcome to Derry, and just revel in the Pennywise goodness.
Amen to that. Moving now to September 8th, 2023, The Nun, Part 2.
Nah. What are you gonna
Um, I think that we reviewed this movie.
say?
I feel like we did.
Maybe, probably.
I was gonna say. I was gonna say. I mean,
It fits in the time period, but yeah, I mean, to me, it's the same stuff we talked about with the Nun, right? It's good, it's fun, it's a Conjuring offshoot in that wider universe. To me, it's an enjoyable movie to watch. It
yeah,
kind of fits in that same vein as what we just spoke of with the Nun. So, I, you know, I like it.
yep, absolutely. Can't beat it. Very good. So we got one more here. We got September 9th, 2022. We have Zach Krieger's Barbarian. We recently reviewed Weapons, and I believe Barbarian, even if we didn't review it, I think we probably did. I feel confident that we did, but we definitely included this in our 2022 top five for sure. We both love this movie. Barbarian's a fantastic movie. Zach Krieger is fantastic. Yeah, love the movie.
Yeah, definitely. Such a great movie. I mean, to me, the epitome of his movies up until Weapons. I mean, and it's just, I don't know, it's so much fun to see what he's doing. And it's so exciting to think of, what will he bring us next? Because Weapons, I mean, tell you, Weapons is still kicking ass in the box office, even now. It's still, I think it's still at number one. It's
Oh, wow.
it's performing, and and it's worth it to me. So it's exciting to think what will he do next, right? I mean, from barbarian to weapons to what's next. But yeah, that's it boggles my mind. That's two pretty damn good movies for a guy to make.
Yeah, absolutely. So very good. That is all of our we made through our news, birthdays, anniversaries. We have two upcoming
Whew.
releases. The Conjuring Last Rites is coming to theaters on September 5th, and is described as paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren take on one last terrifying case involving mysterious entities they must confront. We will, of course, be reviewing this movie next episode. But yeah, I mean, without getting diving too large and too far into the lore of The Conjuring and everything else, the Last Rites is supposedly supposed to be their last case, and I'm very curious. The trailer looks good. So yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see where they're going.
Yeah, me too. Again, I don't think we have much to say. Where we've been talking about this as we've built up into each teaser and trailer and whatever else has come out. We're excited. We'll be reviewing it. We've talked about Conjuring movies many times. So I'm super excited to see what they do in the last of the mainline Conjuring movies and how they send it off.
Yep, absolutely. And then our other upcoming release is The Cellar, being released video on demand and DVD on November 4th. The movie is described as a young girl wakes up imprisoned underground with amnesia. She must escape, unravel the mystery behind her captivity, and confront her personal struggles.
Mhm.
Sounds like a fun time to me. So I'll definitely try and catch that November 4th.
Yeah, we actually we had a screener of this. Ike, did you? I sent you. It's been a while back, but this guy sent us before they even knew what the release information was, and I did watch it. It's creepy. It's pretty fun. And it's they've been working to get release info, to get release and this and that, and just be patient, right? They're the date they're giving us that they gave us. This is directly from his mouth is November 4th, but there are different things with them, right, in Europe and in the US. I don't know what's what, just because November 4th became, it may not be directly on November 4th for the US, or it might. I don't know. But it will be out this fall. And yeah, it's a creepy fun movie. It's worth a watch. And yeah, check it out. We're supporting. This is an independent film. This guy's been in touch with us uh, via social media, and yeah, I advise everybody to give it a shot.
Gotcha. I feel like I didn't get to catch this now. I feel like I remember you sending it to me, but I don't remember watching it. So
Yeah,
I'll definitely have to check it when we get it. I think this was probably one of those weeks that we had like either another movie or something. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. Very good.
yeah.
But cool. Well, I think that does it for our news, birthdays, anniversaries, and upcoming releases. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have our official review of The Toxic Avenger. Stick around.
Hey, Bruiser buddies, I want you to listen to Wrestling Nostalgia with Dave Dynasty. Every week, he has the roughest and toughest interviews in the podcast world today, with the best guests you could ask for. There's no bums on this show. Let Dave Dynasty be your podcasting tag team partner and listen to Wrestling Nostalgia while drinking beer, smoking cigars, and busting heads. Just look it up on your favorite podcast platform and subscribe today, cause the Bruiser said so!
Hey ho, everybody! Subscribe to the Pinhead Pod, the Ramones fan podcast, bringing you interviews, news, deep dives, and much more. Look it up on your favorite podcast platform. That is Pinhead Pod. All right, and we're back here and listen to their screams, and we are reviewing the Toxic Avenger, the new version of the movie, written by Macon Blair, of course, based on the story by Lloyd Kaufman and Joe Ritter. with the 1984 film, which we spoke about last episode. The movie is directed by Macon Blair, starring Peter Dinklage, Jacob Tremblay, Taylor Page, Luisa Guerrera, Kevin Bacon, Elijah Wood, so many other people. There's a lot of people in this movie. This movie opened on August 29th in theaters, and it only grossed $2,100,000 domestically in opening weekend, which was good for number 10. But I don't know. I don't know what they were expecting, what they were hoping for. Given the hype and everything else, I would imagine they would hoping for better than 2 million, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about this movie. Here's my thing. This is, and do keep in mind, this is purely from Dave's perspective. I enjoyed this movie. It was fun. I liked it, but I don't like it as much as the original. I think a lot of the charm, the quirkiness that's in the original, I don't think they don't capture it in this one the same way. They tried to make a few things a little more quote unquote serious that, I don't know, it didn't work. Some of the things that they tried to be kind of humorous about felt a little pushed, a little forced. The acting was great. Peter Dinklage was great. Luisa Guerrera, who plays Toxie under the makeup and stuff, was great. Everybody was great in it. Don't get me wrong. Some of the tweaks they made, to me, some of them were good, right? Some worked. And there were plenty of Easter egg and nods to the original, even in the things they changed. But, and there were some things that I thought, it's okay. But yeah, I don't, I'm a little partial to like Tromaville, and now it's like, whatever, it's Saint Roma's. I get it. It's a play on Troma. It works, but it's like, I don't know. It's just the old Toxic Avenger fandom movie's like, no, man, it's Tromaville. Come on. But, but it's, I don't know, Toxie having the stepson. I get it. It's, there's a little more, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, right? A little more character into it, right? A little more invested in that, but I don't know. I don't know if I need that in the Toxic Avenger. But again, it was a fun movie. I do think maybe it was a little long. I think they could have trimmed it down a bit. Once they got going with some of the kills and some of the things, that's where you start to feel the flavor, a little bit of what a Toxic Avenger movie should be. They did have some of that gore, some of that unrated, as it's in the title of the movie, right? So there is some of that there. But I felt like it took a little bit to get there. And I don't know. I get what they're trying to do, but I don't think the Toxic Avenger needs a whole lot of backstory. But they did. It's a fun movie. I will say, man, this might be a hot take, and I might get a little heat for this. I can see, I think, why maybe the studios were hesitant to put this out to begin with. Because really, if you watch it, you're kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how well this is going to do. Because if you don't like the Toxic Avenger, if you don't get it, if you don't enjoy that kind of stuff, I could see where you could watch it and be like, what the hell is this? And it fall a little flat. Because I do think there were parts of this movie that felt a little flat to me. But it was overall, it was fun. It was a good time. Like I said, maybe a little long, but I think it lacked a little bit of the charm of the original. I don't think you can capture lightning in a bottle like that again. And it's a movie that I think was worthy of a remake, but I don't know that they topped the original, but I think it's probably it's a decent little installment into the annals of the Toxic Avenger. So, Ike, what do you think?
Well, I really liked it. I gotta say, and this is probably one of the few times that I'd say this, and this is probably going to be a hot take coming from me. I like this a little better than I think I like the original Toxic Avenger. The original Toxic Avenger, I think one of the big issues for me is that it was all a little too nonsensical. Like, I enjoyed it. It was a standard 3. But it just kind of just didn't make sense, right? There really were no stakes in that movie. It just kind of seemed like it was just there to have fun, and that's fine. But sometimes with movies, I do like to have a little bit more what I would consider to be like stakes or backstory, or even if it's just something stupid, something to root for. And I feel like this movie specifically gave you like something to root for. And I do see why studios would have been hesitant to release this, even though I loved it. I do see why studios will be hesitant to release this, because you only have basically two kinds of people who would go watch this movie: people who love the original Toxic Avenger, and people who are looking for just a random horror movie to watch. And there's a lot more of the people who love the original Toxic Avenger than there are for people who are just seeking out something to watch, new viewers to the franchise. And so, because the larger portion of your potential viewer base is going to be those old fans, they're going to come in and they're going to see a movie that's a lot different than what they got originally. So I do see why that they would probably have been a little iffy on releasing this. But no, I mean, overall, I did enjoy it. I thought it was great. Toxic Avenger, it was funny. It had a lot of body horror and just gruesome little things, and it was really funny. There was one little scene. It's not a spoiler, but it's basically a remake of the scene where they're in the restaurant from the original movie, and and the Toxic Avenger goes in and starts doing stuff. Well, a guy walks out, one of the bad guys walks out, and the cop just like mad dumps him.
Yeah, yeah.
he's like, he's got to go, he's got to go. I'm just like, I mean, that's fair. That seems pretty realistic, given real life. But no, I thought that Peter Dinklage specifically did a fantastic job. He played Winston, and I think honestly, my biggest issue with the original film was that the Winston character was just some random idiot. I mean that in the nicest way possible, but he plays into that old trope of like dumb hero type deal where he's just stupid, right? He's got something wrong with him clearly, and the dude just gets bullied until he falls out of a window into toxic waste. Whereas this one made a little bit more sense to me on like how the Winston got from point A to point B. I get that the other movies just kind of like the 80s or 70s, and it's kind of just how it is, with those types of movies. So I don't know. Maybe I'm looking a little too deep at a movie called The Toxic Avenger. But I greatly enjoyed the story of this movie, and I think that's really what drew me in. And obviously, I love the silly kills and the brutal gore and just the disgustingness of the Toxic Avenger. I also really like Elijah Wood. I always get Daniel Radcliffe and Elijah Wood mixed up. Good Lord. I loved Elijah Wood's character, and I also liked Kevin Bacon's character. They kind of went together.
Yeah.
I think that they had a really all-star cast for this, and I feel like had they not shelved this in 2023, this movie would have made more money. But I think that they made the movie and they shelved it, so any of the hype of the movie kind of got shelved with it. So I don't know. I feel like that's the biggest flaw, is that this movie is 2 years too late in some ways. But I mean, hey, I still enjoyed it. It was still worth the watch, and I would watch it again. That's a big thing. Is I would definitely go back and watch this movie again.
Yeah, I mean, I would watch it again too. And again, like I said, I did like the kills and stuff like that. Once I got to that part, yeah, you could feel some of the flavor of the original. I think probably the biggest thing is the age difference here, right? I do have a little nostalgia for the original, right? I remember the original. I remember the cartoon. I remember the action figures that went with the cartoon and stuff like that. So there is a little bit of nostalgia there for the original. You don't have any of that attachment. So I can see that, right? I'm not saying this is a bad movie or whatever, but I did enjoy it. I did think it was fun. But if I was going to sit down and if I had to pick one of the two, right, I'd watch the original again. But I am honest enough to say that might just primarily be the nostalgia of it, because of how much I love the original, because of the nostalgia. But this, it was a fun movie, right? It did have, once it got to it, I still think it was a little long. It was like 2 hours. I still think, that's a little long for a Toxic Avenger movie. But yeah, I say that about a lot, I guess. So so if we're going to rank this thing and give it a rating, again, I still thought it was fun, so I'm still going to give it a 3 out of 5, a middle of the ground, enjoyable. I don't think it was anything, groundbreaking. I don't think it necessarily improved upon the original, but I don't think it was necessarily a backtrack. It was just different. And but it still had some of that same flair, some of that same flavor that fit into it. But it's just a different take on it, which is fine. But it was still fun enough that I think I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 screams. So, what are you rating the new take on the Toxic Avenger?
Well, I would say that, like you said, I think that our generation difference is definitely rearing its head in this conversation,
Yeah.
which is not a bad thing.
No, no,
I
no.
think that's oftentimes this is like the perfect example where a movie from your generation gets remade, and especially a movie that I had never seen before prior to us watching it last week, right? So I really had no attachment to the original Toxic Avenger. Now I liked it, but seeing this new movie, I feel like it took it a step beyond. So for me, I would give this a 3.5 out of 5. I'm not gonna go crazy and say this is a 4 out of 5 or anything like this. It's still just a Toxic Avenger movie. It just has a little more substance for me. So I think 3.5 out of 5 is a perfect way to depict my feelings of this movie. So 3.5 out of 5.
There you go. I will say I think the one improvement they made was the mop. I think
Yes.
the upgrade of the mop is more of almost a character, right? Almost I don't know what a thing, right? It had substance, it had a purpose, it had a whatever you want to call it. I don't know how you phrase it, but I do think that the use of the mop was upgraded. So again, it is a fun movie. I am a little disappointed that it only got the 2 million. That seems I hate that. That seems odd to me. Hopefully, maybe it'll get a little tick up. But again, right now it is a strong market, right? There are a lot of good films out there. But I guess I just hoped with all the hype and all the talk that this would come in strong on opening weekend. But I don't know. At least for me, it's a little disappointing from what I think maybe it should be or what I hoped it would be. And I'd be curious to see what it does on the follow up. So, but anyway, a movie that I will venture to guess will probably not struggle in the box office that we will be reviewing next episode will be The Conjuring Last Rites. I don't think you could ever say any of the Conjuring movies have struggled in the box office. I don't think this one will be any different. I think this one will absolutely rake it in. I'm very much looking forward to this and seeing what they do. We will be reviewing that next episode. Before we close out, we'd like to say thank you to our wives and then all of you listeners and followers for your support and everything you do to keep us churning on here at Listen to Their Screams. Make sure you do follow us. Make sure you subscribe to us on social media. We're on pretty much any platform. Just search for Listen to Their Screams or listen the number 2 and Screams. And whatever podcast platform you're listening to us, make sure you subscribe to us there. If the option's there, give us a rating and review. That helps us in the algorithms. And then make sure you share the episodes. Make sure you tell any of your fans that enjoy horror movies to give us a try, give us a listen, and see what they think. So before we close out, Ike, and close the door on our 2-part Toxic Avenger foray that we've gone into, anything you want to add to this episode?
Oh man. Well, what I would add is, if you guys haven't already, go out and support the Toxic Vendor. I mean, we always say that about all horror movies, but especially these kinds of movies. My thought process is that if we support a movie that got shelved 2 years ago, maybe they'll start unshelving movies and start putting them out on the theaters. Maybe this is a test run. Who knows? But in any case, hopefully everyone out there is supporting these films, but also, of course, make sure we continue to support horror just in general. I'm super excited for Conjuring Last Rites. I think it's going to be decent. Um, I don't know. I'm keeping positive notes just because I have noticed myself a little bit of a degrading quality of the Conjuring movies over the last few years.
Yep.
Like the last Conjuring movie was Conjuring the Devil Made Me Do It. It was all right.
Yeah.
Not as good as 1 or 2, so I'm hoping that this one is a step above The Devil Made Me Do It. To be fair, The Devil Made Me Do It was filmed during COVID, and I don't mean to disparage because they had to do the best they could, but you could definitely tell it was made during COVID. The quality of the film is certainly less because they had to figure it out somehow, right?
That's right. And the trailer for this does look very promising. It does. It is probably the most exciting I've been in a while, just from the trailer for a Conjuring movie. So let's hope they do go out with a bang. Let's hope it performs well so that at least we can keep the Conjuring universe going on in some capacity. But yes, go watch the Toxic Avenger. Go watch Weapons again. Go watch whatever's showing out there. I don't know what the other horror movies are right now that are out there, but go watch them all. No matter what it is, go support horror in theaters. Go support horror on video on demand. Go. We spoke to you about a couple of great things coming up this fall on Shudder. Go subscribe to Shudder. Go subscribe to Screenbox. Support all these things because the more people that support, the more horror we're going to get. It's the bottom line. I know we're all passionate about it, but it is a business, right? So the more money they make, the more we get to see this stuff. So, all right, then. So next episode, The Conjuring: Last Rites, that closes. We're heading out. We're in the car heading out of Tromaville or Saint Roma or whatever you want to call it now. Closing the door for now on the Toxic Avenger saga. We're heading for The Conjuring: Last Rites, which is coming next episode. But until then, wherever you go and whatever you do, be good, be safe, and have many pleasant nightmares.